There's only one fight boxing fans care about right now. The outcome of this one has truly changed the heavyweight division and has ramifications on the entire sport of boxing for good. Indeed, if you missed this one, you must be crazy. This is the mesmerizing body snatcher, aka Dillian Whyte, versus Tyson Fury himself, or as you may know him, the Gypsy King. The fact that Dillian Whyte is from South London was the only clue that Whyte might actually finish this the way he did. Just look at him here. No one can deny his resilience and mental toughness in the ring. This is a man who has proven time and time again that he can withstand some of the biggest punches in the division, only to quickly return the favor and body snatch his opponents into absolute submission. One thing you'll never believe, Dillian Whyte has spent hours sparring with some surprising names to prepare for this fight. Stay tuned to the end of this video for some amazing footage of Whyte sparring with Anthony Joshua. And if you're wondering why they call him the Body Snatcher, look no further.
In defeat to Derek Chisora in 3 rounds. Dillian Whyte will want to make a little statement of his own.
Purchase your tracks today.
Oh, and he might just do that with a right to the body, and then he followed up.
Nice danger.
Look at the force of these punches. Take a minute to appreciate the sheer power this young man can detonate with his fists. It's fair to say when this man lands his heavy artillery, there's only one way his opponent is leaving the ring. That's right, out cold in a body bag. Absolutely terrifying. One thing everyone loves about Whyte is his brute toughness. One need only look back at his titanic brawl with Derek Chisora himself to see just how hard it is to knock this guy down. This was the fight that saw two absolute giants with extreme power unleash their full force on one another. Indeed, these two went toe-to-toe and blow-to-blow continuously throughout the fight, trading heavy artillery and devastating weaponry for round after round. At this point, it's fair to say not many would dare step in the ring with this savage South Londoner. Fight fans spread rumors that Whyte is an absolute gentleman outside of the ring. That may be so, but judging by his ring presence, we wouldn't want to test this hypothesis. Absolutely terrifying. Indeed, Whyte puts the capital G in gangster. But how exactly does the body snatcher match up against the living legend Tyson Fury? Indeed, many are quite clear in their assertion that Fury is obviously the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time. Fight fans have claimed that Whyte's biggest challenge will be Fury's newfound ability to detonate his right hand to achieve these enormous knockout punches. This was clearly exhibited in his most recent trilogy fight against the lethal Deontay Wilder. You must have been sleeping under a rock with your head in the sand if you missed this.
All night, we will learn a lot. Oh, 1-2 by Fury. No.
Fury
Big
came
shot. In that, Fury landed a beautiful right hand at the end of the round. But Wilder was really getting the better of it there. Another right hand. And down goes Wilder. Fury put him down with the right hand.
Wilder showed in the first 2 fights. Wilder's got to get
Right hand by Fury. And down goes Deontay Wilder.
big shot by Tyson Fury.
Natural strength.
Fury throwing it up again.
And that's it. It's over.
Fight fans knew that Fury spent considerable time training with Sugar Hill Stewart himself in order to gain this kind of knockout ability. Given Fury's enormous frame at a staggering 6'9" and with enough back fat to roast enough potatoes to feed your entire street at Christmas, a knockout punch from this man is not to be understated. Just look at the sheer size of Fury. Could anyone withstand a knockout blow like this? Well, many argue that Dillian Whyte would easily take this punch and stay on his feet. It's not clear whether this is accurate. The last time Whyte faced a true champion was back in his vicious onslaught against the well-muscled and absolutely devastating Anthony Joshua here. Dubbed as one of the most powerful heavyweights of all time, Anthony Joshua proved a formidable opponent for the body snatcher. Despite putting up an incredible fight, Joshua simply managed to overpower Whyte, and in the end, these huge punches proved simply too much for our warrior from Brixton, South London. Just look at how some of Joshua's punches landed here.
Now jabbing it. We get to see
Joshua nails him with a left hand. Whyte in trouble. Again, it was the left. Whyte comes through. Joshua sticks his tongue out at Whyte. What survival mode here? Here already.
Got a hold. Whyte's got a hold. He's got a hold. He's ready.
Purchase your tracks today.
There's it from Whyte, but the legs are betraying him, and down he goes. Surely no way up here. But Whyte, it's stopped. It's over.
This was absolutely devastating. If Whyte was unable to take these punches from Joshua, does he even stand a chance against Fury? Fight fans have actually dismissed this argument. They claim Whyte has improved drastically since this time. In fact, they point to his most recent victory against Povetkin as a perfect display of Whyte's new and improved technique. Far from simply resorting to brute force and strength, in this fight, Whyte exhibited phenomenal footwork and jab execution. Indeed, he played his cards perfectly to open Povetkin up before detonating his signature body-snatching punches. Just look at how he dealt with Povetkin here.
He looked a bit wobbly and uncertain. That one caught him anyway, and he was definitely wobbly and uncertain.
Right from the get-go. No, that was a really good stoppage. As I've said about Victor Locke, he's a top referee, and that was a good stoppage.
But the legs had gone again, and that's a heavy old knockdown, and Victor Locklin saw the eyes.
He's been a great champion in the past.
Trademark Dillian Whyte left hook finishes this one.
It's fair to say that's a significant improvement. Not such an easy fight for Tyson Fury after all. In fact, many suggest that if Whyte fights like this again, we may see a repeat of the shocking knockdown Steve Cunningham achieved against Fury way back in 2013. Don't tell us you've forgotten when this happened.
Yeah, it's very important he controls it. Oh, there we go.
Cunningham, look for that right hand over the top. Fury is down. Second time in his career, he is badly shaken. He didn't see it coming. And there is a...
It's this kind of detonating power punching that Whyte is capable of, and it goes without saying Fury would need a chin of steel to withstand this kind of force. The problem is, Tyson Fury is no novice. In fact, with 31 victories on his professional record, 22 of which by devastating knockout, it will take a lot more than a lucky punch to dethrone this Gypsy King. Back in 2019, Fury dealt with a similar opponent who tried hard to land that lucky punch. This was when Otto Wallin cornered Fury back against the ropes. In this moment, it seemed only a matter of time before Fury went down to the canvas. But Wallin forgot one thing. As the Gypsy King, Fury has an uncanny ability to take the red pill and enter the Matrix at any given time. Just look at this incredible head movement here. This kind of defensive movement harks back to the times of such greats as Muhammad Ali, who is similarly known to be just as elusive. Not only that, but when faced with deadly power punchers, Fury has proven simply unstoppable. Looking back at how Fury dealt with Vladimir Klitschko, you can see how he uses technique and boxing IQ to outwit his power-punching rivals. Indeed, Klitschko, the long-reigning European champion, was left nothing short of confused against Fury's intelligent movement, lightning-fast jabs, and unbelievable feinting. This made it impossible for Klitschko to detonate his signature weapon, his explosive right hand. Up against Tyson Fury, Dillian Whyte faces a similar challenge. Indeed, Dillian will need a perfect game plan for this one to come out on top. In the words of Frank Warren himself, Tyson is absolutely champing at the bit. He wants to make a statement in front of a record crowd, and I believe he will. This country has never seen anything like Tyson Fury before. He's just had an epic trilogy with the hardest-hitting heavyweight of all time and come out on top. He will be determined to give every paying fan a night they will never forget. But what do you think? Does Tyson Fury prove once again that he is the greatest pound-for-pound boxer of all history and completely annihilate Dillian Whyte? Or does Whyte prove he has the perfect refined technique and body-snatching skills to unpick Fury and dethrone him from the gypsy throne? If Whyte is one of the best of this generation, as they say he is, we may be in for a huge surprise. But what do you think? Do you even have an opinion? If you can name one way you'd like us to improve our videos, make sure you let us know in the comments section below. Finally, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for future updates.